Welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are in here today talking about scam and spam emails. And we have our panel of different supporters on. Let me unmute them so you can say hello. So we got Quint, we got Vince, we got DJ, and we got some guy that's being really private there. That's Sean, guys. I invited Sean on since he's a security guy, and he might be able to give us some information. So as we dive into this, and you guys in the comments can help out if you can, Quint's handing out candy. Dan got stuck handing out candy, so he can't even show up. Vince, they just don't celebrate Halloween, but it's already November there, so whatever. And we are where I am. We have tornado watches, so I got weather over here, and if the thing starts screaming because a tornado touchdown, or if the house just suddenly flies away, just call the Wicked Witch of the West or something, because I'm flying away in a tornado. So, but we're going to keep going. So, let's see. I got one of my emails by accident. Which email, Jesse Crypto? You can jump on too, Jesse. My apologies. I did not get the links out for the on Think Life Media and Patreon as early as I would have liked to. So my apologies for that. But anyway, we're back. So, how are you guys doing this Halloween or day after Halloween, depending on where you're at?
I'm fine, yeah. I just got, the person who just rang the doorbell just then was just advertising something.
Did you not realize? Well, it's a good time. You're guaranteed to have the door open to you, right?
Yeah.
I just told Jesse that I'll send him my account details in a minute.
Yes. Yes, so since we're talking about scamming and phishing for your data, I do expect everybody to leave in the comments for the whole public to see. We want your first name, your last name, your email address, your telephone number, your mother's maiden name, your social security number, the full thing, not just the 4 last digits. Just all sorts of stuff. No. Jesse Crypto, I did not get anything from you. So if you did send me some scam email to contribute, I did not see it. No. That's sad. No. Brian, and yeah, Sean, I'm sorry. Sean O'Brien, yeah. Sean, I'm going to have you explain some of the stuff you sent me, because there was some, like, I've never seen the physics Nobel laureate scam emails before. That's something new to me. Are those common? Sean, can we hear you? I don't know if we can hear you, Sean. Oh, Sean, I don't think we can hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. There it's going. So you are a giant hot dog, is that?
I am, yes, a giant hot dog. I'm made of at least 5 animals, so.
Nice. Very cool. If I thought about it, I might have said, hey, we could dress up if we wanted to. Because I got a big old pocket protector and some geeky shirts and some safety glasses with some white tape in the middle and slick back hair. It'd be awesome. I've done the geek before for Halloween. So that's the case. DJ, do you do Halloween where you're at?
I don't, but the neighborhood is older folks, so I don't think too many of them trick or treat anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's jump in the comments, then we'll dive in with our emails here. UKB says first, how's it going? There, Sleepy is second. Badger Boy, Thomas Holt, hello to you. Simply Linux, greetings. Jesse Crypto, Jesse, if you should have gotten the link in your email, so if you want to jump on, Jesse, go for it. Let's see. What else? Simple Tech, how's it going there? Finishing up with a malware removal job. Very cool. Had some nasties to tell you about. Nice. Mitchell, how's it going there? Passing out candy and arch ISOs to trick-or-treaters. Lots of kids out. Nice! Hand out some arch for Halloween. There you go. See, Quint, you should do that. Just get yourself some discs, burn on some arch, just drop them in there. Fedora, hey man, Fedora 31 is out. Just in time for October 31st.
I haven't upgraded yet. I need to do that. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Jesse's firing up Kali right now. I could tell you what to do, switch links, but it's not family friendly. See, I'm here in State College. Like, I don't get out as much as I used to. But back when I was, a graduate student and had to go back and forth to campus and stuff and check on my cancer cells. Yeah, I had to do that for 6 years, going into the lab and checking on my cancer cells. It was the big joke in the family, Tom has cancer. So on Halloween sometimes, there were some costumes that I thought it might just be worth running these people over and going to jail for a while. Particularly when those private parts came running right in front of my car one day, it forced me to slam on the brakes. I thought about just hitting the gas instead. Oh boy. Simply Linux is dressed as a nerd this year. Very good. Got to pass again. Very tired. Didn't sleep last night. All right, man. All right. All right. No problem, man. You can chill out all you need. It's raining here, so yeah. I don't know if they actually postponed our Halloween or not, to be honest. All right. Are we ready to dive on into our topic? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record these out in clips and release them because nobody really catches an hour-long chat stream all in one thing after it's up. But I think this is important enough content to split out, so we're going to go ahead and do some recording and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I will dive on in. All right, welcome back to Switch to Linux. We're going to do a little series of just looking at some of the fun scam emails that we might all get in our inboxes sometime and talk about some tips and some tricks with a panel of people here about how you can fight the scammers and the spammers. So hello, panelists. How you guys doing?
Great.
All right.
Fine.
So we all get junk emails and sometimes junk phone calls too. If Dan were here, I'd have him talk about the junk phone calls. But the emails,
I have plenty of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 'cause our home phone is Google Voice, and so I can
boy.
look at everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could read a couple of those if I can get logged in and everything.
Yeah, if you want to, we can go for it. So the first
Yeah.
clip here, we just want to talk some generics, and then we're going to do a series of clips where we're actually going to be isolating emails. So, of course, when you get an email, never assume it's directly from who you think it might be from. There's any things, so like I pulled out one, which is a DHL shipping email. Of course, DHL is a company, and actually all of the links in that email actually go to DHL, which is fun. But they sent you an attachment. And should we open up that attachment on screen? That'd be fun. So we get that kind of stuff. And then a lot of them are just, there's the extortion scams. Here's the Bitcoin wallet, give me this, or I'm going to do something nasty. And then there's things that are just phishing for more information. And I have some of those. I think Sean contributed some of those that we'll look at here today as well. And so ultimately, the first thing you want to do is check the links, check the source, check who the email's actually coming from, and be very cautious. So let's open this up to thoughts. What do you guys do when you get emails? Anyone want to jump in and talk about what you do when you get an email if you're not sure if it's valid or not? Go ahead. Don't everybody jump in at once, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vince.
Well, the first thing I do is check the return sender email address, and just check the domain on that, and just check if it looks legit or not. Often, if it contains like lots of different characters and gobbledygook, it's probably not going to be legit. If it's from something you recognize or don't recognize as well.
So you're telling me that the YouTube support email I got from lists.ru is not really YouTube? So I should not have filled out that form. Bummer.
Uh-oh. Go change your details.
All right, Quint, thoughts?
I get...
Oh, okay. No, go ahead.
No, go, Quint.
No, okay. Oh, you're muted, Quint.
You did.
Uh-oh. There you go.
My family just got here. I'm going to move downstairs.
Okay, all right.
Somebody else can go.
DJ, what do you think? What do you do when you get an email if you suspect it's
I look for bad English. That's the first thing I do, is look for really poor English.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if they can't speak with the or type with at least a third grade dialect, they're probably a scammer. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, so obviously look at the address first. I often look at the mail header, which a lot of clients don't allow you to do or make it difficult to do now. But I use Thunderbird as my email client, so I'll actually look at the message source if I'm really trying to dig. But often, as the other folks have said, it's pretty obvious usually from the address that something's amiss.
Yeah, absolutely. So
on the point about the English, that is still a good way of checking it. And if it's bad, then stay away from it. But I found some ones that are really quite good now these days, and you have got to look really closely to find a missing word or a missing letter in a spelling. Some of them, if they're trying to emulate actual real emails, they may just be copying and pasting, and that can look really legit.
Yeah, absolutely. And Quint, thoughts?
Okay, yeah, I'm back downstairs now. So my family can answer the door for me.
All
I
right.
don't have to do that anymore. So yeah, when I get an email that looks like a scam, I typically just ignore it. I don't get many spam emails. My email filters are really good. I'll maybe look at it just a little bit. I'll check who the sender is, but I really just kind of ignore it because I don't get a ton of spam emails, and if I do, it's not really something that I have.
Yeah. And Mitchell says here, many lists of compromised usernames and passwords circulate online. They may use that info to trick you into thinking they know more than they actually do. Yeah, kind of the same thing if you basically have a phone number, like a bank call you up on the phone, be like, oh, we think that there's some spam activity going on. Would you go ahead and give us the account number? Don't do it. You hang up the phone, you pull out your bank account number, and you call the number that your bank actually has, either on the back of your card or whatever else. So you want to be wise about how you handle things. Sean mentioned he uses Thunderbird. So if you're on Thunderbird and you're just in your main home folder view, click on the email. There's the More tab down there. Pull the More tab down and you can view the source. So that's what Sean was talking about. View the source, see where it came from. Other clients, you'll have to hunt for it. Even Outlook is
I know
annoying.
Gary, right here, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to switch over to my computer, but right here it says view source. Can you see that?
Let me...
But basically, there's
that's
just a whole bunch
Gary?
there's a button that says view source, and you can just view the text on there. I don't know how well you guys can see that.
It's really hard to see, so I don't think. But Gary, look for view source, view message source.
There's like
what
a
you're
dot,
looking for.
dot, dot. Next to the email, there's a dot, 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 and there's view source.
Yeah.
So you could do it on Gary, too.
Yep. All right.
I'm actually going to switch over
So,
to
Tom-
my computer.
Yep, go ahead, Sean.
Tom, I'm glad you mentioned the thing about the phone numbers before I forget. I actually almost made a terrible mistake a couple months ago. I had to call my card number on the back of the card to activate it. And I know you can go to the ATM and use it, and that'll activate it too these days. But I had a new card, so I called the number on the back to activate. And I had it one digit off when I dialed. I don't know why. I just had a brain fart of some kind. And I got a scammer on the other end. So
Was
they
it
are
for
setting
your
up
card?
numbers. What?
Was it for the same company, the same card registration?
Yeah, they were saying it was Chase was the bank, and they were saying they were from Chase. And they started going through, and so after a few questions about my name and stuff, and my name and zip code, then they started asking, and I go, hold on, and I'm glad I remember because I would have felt really stupid. I was like, you don't have that information in front of you, kind of. And I had never gone through that before activating. I should know it's an automated system, you know what I mean? But anyway, it can happen to anybody. I almost fell for it.
Yeah.
Then I just hung up the phone, and I of course, reported the number to Chase. But I imagine it's a VoIP number that they can just trash and generate a new one. So
Yeah, probably. But that brings in a good point. It's the same thing with like URLs. I mean, you can use interesting ASCII characters in URLs that look legit. And so you really, really got to be very diligent in what you're doing and looking for different emails and things like that. So, yeah, you got to be really careful with that, just the types of things that are out there. Any other final comments on the introduction before we jump into the first email here? All right, we'll go with a no. All right, so let's see. Where's my article view? And we'll transfer over to here and see what my first email is. Oh, this is the one I've never seen before. I'll see if any of you guys seen this one. All right, so here we're continuing on with our discussion of email scams. So this is an email I have not actually seen before. And so this came from its secure email. And so it says, Dear subscriber, recently we added a new security upgrade to our email services. Please go through the upgrade page to update your account to prevent identity theft. And then there it lists the web server account update, and that's a link. And it says your mailbox will not be affected, and you will keep all your old contacts, folders, and messages. Thank you. Mail Professional 9.0 mail server software. Okay, now the funny thing about this one is they're emailing my email. I control this webmail server. So, I mean, unless I made a change I was unaware that I made and then emailed that change to myself, I obviously was a scam. And then, of course, the link actually is http://chevrolet-auto.kh.au/js/sec.php. And then it actually gives the question mark and then email. So basically they're logging the specific emails that actually click the link. So I'm curious to know where this thing goes to. Anyone want to check it out?
I'm willing to if you forward it. I'll just throw it in Tor browser or something I'm not worried about.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, Quint, we can hear you now. Whoa.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to send this to you, Sean, on... So, guys, if you're unaware, like, don't try this at home unless you know exactly what you're doing. Sean is actually a security professional. So I just put that in the Google Hangouts. Did you get that?
Yep.
So,
Okay, so
What
of
did I
course
miss
it's
that you guys
logging the
just said?
email with a question. So we just read this new email that we got proposing to be from my email service that I have to click the link to update the information.
Okay.
And it's sent to my own email server for, so, I mean, I know I didn't make any changes. So there's that. So first, has anybody seen this particular email before? This is the first time I've ever actually seen it.
let me pull up what it looks like. I don't have the...
Okay, for you guys in chat that do know what you're doing, there's the link. They're going to be like, why are all these people emailing us? What's going on? This thing was really effective. Now, of course, I posted it after it's a question email equals, and then they have the email address to track the emails coming from it. So, Oh, Sean's got something. What do you got?
Yeah, so it's a login screen here. You guys can probably see this, right? And basically, if I were to throw information in here, and I'll just do, scam@scammer.com, fake password, log in. It just tells you invalid password, but the assumption is that on the back end, they're actually keeping that password, faking that it's a login form.
Yep.
And the code for the form is here. It's very, very basic. What's interesting is they're actually loading jQuery pretty much unnecessarily. So they're loading code
jQuery, they're not using jQuery.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't... But, a Tor browser is probably blocking this, actually. In fact, I know it is. So maybe it looks fancier when you're not in Tor browser. But at any rate, what's interesting about that, the more that I think of it, is not only is that kind of unnecessary, they probably could have, used something else or pasted some JavaScript into the header, but also Google, I guess, if it kind of wanted to, would know that this form loaded this JavaScript, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder how much policing there is on that way. There must be a massive amount of scam websites that are using Google code.
Oh, so it looks like the JavaScript there is using some jQuery elements, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, and so see what the JavaScript does right here. It just automatically will say return false when you enter. No, that's hold on.
The password length equals 0. Alert return false. That's what it said.
Yeah. Yeah, deprecated, not used, blah, blah, blah. I'd have to look at it to see if it's purposefully trying to screw up, because it does have some success stuff in here, which is weird.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, or maybe they just copied a different form, but they're just rerouting the traffic somewhere else. Do you see anywhere where they're rerouting traffic that you input? That could also be server side, though, too.
So they're sending it via post. They're sending the email and the password just in post, which is, sending the email and password in memory in the PHP form.
Yeah.
And
go up to where's the form pushing to?
Yeah, where's the actual right? And that should be in the form tag, which is same PHP file.
Okay. So it's just calling something via jQuery. Okay. So yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it generates a token for the user, right? A unique token, and then it takes the username and password and it just saves it somewhere on the server. That's got to be what it's doing. We can't see the PHP because it's already loaded, right? but it's sending the post data, the data that when you hit submit, back to the same PHP form. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how well written that PHP form is.
Probably just enough to harvest the data and securely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Right.
wonder if they could get cracked
Okay,
themselves.
so
Yeah, if you use Wireshark or something, you can probably just watch it coming over the wire. In plain.
If Jesse's on, he's probably looking at that right now. He's actually doing this in Kali. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Cool.
So there you
okay,
go.
so I
Go ahead.
Tom, I just pulled up my Google Voice for our home phone. And we
Okay,
have
well, hold on.
20
We're doing email sequentially in groups, so we'll come to yours in a bit. Okay. All right. So the point of this one, obviously, if you hover over the link in your email client, and some of them, like Apple, makes this very hard. In fact, checking on an Apple mail, you more often than not accidentally click the link trying to figure out where the link goes to. Most other places, if you hover over the link in your email, then you'll actually be able to see where it's coming from. And obviously, Chevrolet-auto.kh.ua is clearly not my email server. So you got to be very careful as to what information you're looking at and where you're going and things like that. So, but of course, everything it's pulling in enough information, so it's sending itself out in such a way that it's grabbing something from the email address, making itself look a little bit official. So, any other thoughts on this email before we jump on to another one? All right, we'll jump over to another one in just a moment. All right. Stop that one there. Quint, do you have something we can do quick before we jump over to another
Yes,
one?
I do right here.
Oh, can somebody
I have a
pull up-
Google.
hold on. Can somebody pull up for our next email? Can somebody pull up the reverse thing where you can check a Bitcoin wallet and see how much money has been put into it? Go ahead, Quint.
Yeah, that's Bitcoin Who's Who, I think, or no?
Yeah. Can you find that? Go ahead, Quint. What do you got on Google Voice?
This one I have. I have a bunch of. Our home phone is Google Voice because we have Google Fiber, and that's part of their home phone deal. We get so much stuff in here. So let me just share the application window here. As you see, this one we have you. Can you see this here?
Yeah.
This one
hey,
is
Quint,
from
Quint,
from
Quint.
What?
Why don't you just read the screen, because that'll actually expose your home phone number, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. I'll close that
it
out.
does. All right.
But
All right,
this
just
one
go
is
ahead
one
and
of those this one, the first one I pulled up here is one of those Microsoft scans. It's a scam. It says, "You from Microsoft refund department. Please do not hang up. You have paid for your computer technical support a few months ago. We are calling to refund your money as the company has been ordered to close down. Please call us again on blah, blah, blah. Thank you." This is pretty common. I've seen these before where it says the company is closing down and you can get your money back, blah, blah, blah.
So I guess you call them up and then they...
Yeah. You give them your payment information and they just charge you more money. That's how it works.
That sounds
There-
There are so many YouTube videos of these scammers getting scammed back. You guys need to check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
they're
got
great.
another one. I just got another one right now that's the exact same thing. Yeah, please do not hang up. You have paid for your computer technical support a few months ago. We are calling to refund your money as the company has been ordered to close down. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then those might actually
Look
be
at
all the
this
same
one.
company. So,
Look at this one here. I'm gonna copy and paste this one into a document
all right.
because this one's very long.
Okay. Another Microsoft refund
is one
scam.
of
I've
those
not
ones
seen the
saying that you
Microsoft
could-
refund scams, but yeah.
Yeah, so what these guys do on YouTube is with the phone number, they'll set up a VM with Windows,
Yep.
and they'll call these guys back. And what they'll do, because they usually connect with TeamViewer or something like similar,
Yeah.
and you can actually reverse connect, so you can actually then connect back to the scammer's computer, and they'll go ahead and do things like delete the scammer's data off their drive and stuff like that, and it makes for hilarious watching.
There's some people who look at the scammer's webcam because a lot of them have webcams.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like, then you send
Yeah, I'll
them
show
back
you
an
this.
email. I caught you.
So this,
Alright.
look at this one here. This was a voicemail transcript I just copied.
Okay. Pat, I was just trying to reach out to you today because I understand that some point in the past you were truly interested and motivated in changing your lifestyle by trying to take an income online from home. And look, I understand that there's a lot of goofy businesses online. I'm a retiree who's just trying to truly retire, not having to make all the calls and so on. I was fortunate enough to find an online business that is completely automated. You don't have to talk to anyone to make money. This is about you making at least $15,000 or more each month. To learn more information, just go to www.retireto0119. Interesting. Again, that's
It's
www. I guess it's 02019, probably .com. I guess.
Yes, Retire 2019 is what
yeah.
it is.
Retire2019.com. Ooh, anyone want to go there? Sean, what's that one look like? Retire2019.com. My guess is that's probably it's like not as much like, I don't know. That's probably not a phishing as much as just a really scammy business idea. I don't know.
These are scammy businesses.
Yeah, so that
yeah.
kind of brings in another point that sometimes we're getting emails that are we'll say legit, but they're not like full-fledged scams, but they're not full-fledged good either. There you go. So want the exact system to make some. Oh, guys, let's all just sign up because, quite frankly, I think if I did that, I could just retire. I could stop doing all this. What do y'all think? Should we do this? Let's do it, man.
Wow.
Sign me up. This is awesome. All
and it's worth noting here. So this is probably a hijacked website.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happens?
Yeah, go ahead.
What happens here is websites get hijacked because they have no security or they have a content management system that has some known bug. WordPress especially is prone to this, but Drupal and other ones occasionally. So this URL isn't that legitimate looking, but it's also not that weird, right? And this isn't delivering malware per se, but it probably does at some point. But often they just do, and they'll load actually in the header, in the HTML header. They'll often load binary malware by encoding it with base64. So they'll encode it into the a redirect to a binary in the header of the document. Yeah. So even if you look at the source, you can't necessarily tell what it's doing.
Correct. Now, I have cleaned several of these off of WordPress websites. I support, I'm a WordPress expert, so I've cleaned a lot of spammed, hijacked websites. So what they'll do is, just like I said, they'll put a lot of base64 inside of a PHP tag. You can't see on the loaded rendered page, but you can when you actually have access to the server. So somebody gets in, usually through a vulnerable plugin, and then they'll get in and access the file server, and then they'll literally just add this code to several of the different primary theme files. Makes it very difficult to get rid of. So something like WordFence does a decent job looking for this and clearing it. Go ahead, Quint.
Would it be okay to paste the number if you guys want to call them and mess with them? Because this was a voicemail. Good chances are it's a phone number that's a throwaway phone number. So I'm not sure it would make a difference. Some of the numbers that people usually will call and scam back, those will generally load with like a JavaScript file or something like that. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's the other ones. I don't have any other good ones unless I listen to them. If the transcript thing doesn't work.
Yep.
But all the rest of them are just the rest of them are just the ones I just showed you, where it's like the refund department thing. Yeah. So I don't think I have anything else to show you guys.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump over to another one of these. We're going to do the common Bitcoin scam right now. So you guys, probably somebody has seen this one. So let's go ahead and start my recorder. Then we'll get going. All right, so the next email we're going to have a look at here is very common. Some of you may have received this one. This is your basic Bitcoin hack. So what would be called a sextortion type scam email. These have been very common, and to my understanding, these are actually linked to the the same company that was actually doing the bomb scares around last January, if I heard my information correct. So the basic format's about the same. You've installed some type of stuff. So this says, we have installed one rat software on your device. For the moment, your email account is hacked to. Yeah, Vince was talking about broken English. Somebody else who was talking about broken English. Oh, DJ, I think was talking about it. So I know your password. I logged into your account and wrote this letter to you from there. I forgot to get online and see exactly where that is. Change your password. You're doing great, but my software recognizes every such action. I'm updating passwords. I'm always one step ahead. ... So, I've downloaded all confidential information from your system. I've got some more evidence. The most interesting moment I have discovered are video recordings where I'm not going to say that word on camera. I've posted the exploit modification on those bad sites and installed a malicious code onto your operating system. Which one of my 10 computers did they hack, I was wondering. When you clicked the button to play on those videos, at the moment, my Trojan downloaded to your device. After installation, your front camera shoots video every time you do that action. The software is synchronized with the video you choose. For the moment, the software has harvested all your contact information from social networks and email addresses. If you need to erase all your collected videos, send me $725 in Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin wallet. I'm going to post this into the chat hangout. So if one of you guys has the thing pulled out where you can tell me how much money has this scammer made. And it says you have 48 hours after reading this letter. After your transaction, I will erase all your data. Otherwise, I will send a video with your sweepstakes to all your colleagues, friends, and relatives. So, yeah. You guys seen this one, I assume?
Many times.
Yeah.
And also, it's one of these...
Hold on, Quinn. Go ahead. Go on, Sean.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's one of these things that can really have a human sort of really shake people. So I've had people really be upset by this sort of thing. Not that different than the Microsoft support one, although I guess it's harder for people to figure out how to use Bitcoin if they've never used it. Mm-hmm. So 8 people have given this person money.
Now, what's the current Bitcoin? So it's 0.68 Bitcoin. What's the current Bitcoin exchange?
I got to do the math on that. Yeah. Let me go out to Coinbase.
Scam alert right here. This address has been reported as fraudulent 60 times.
60 times. But it should have been 68 because 8 people actually contributed to it. So that was 0.68.
Yeah, so figure it's like $5,000, somewhere around there, right?
Man, I'm in the wrong business. I should just be taking this thing and just... So the way this guy works, if you actually get a lot of these, you can check the Bitcoin wallets. And the Bitcoin wallets here do change. I don't think I've yet gotten a single one of these that uses the same Bitcoin wallet. And then the fact of the matter is, if interested governmental parties wanted to, they could track these people down. It's probably going to end up in some foreign country, so nobody's going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
So, the first transaction was October 29th, so this is a new account.
Yeah, this email just hit my account, I think, 2 days ago. So what is it, $6,302 in 3 days? Dude, I'm in the wrong business. So let's have on this email, let's have some pro bad stuff account. All right, guys, if you're doing this kind of stuff, don't do it with a microphone and a camera's looking at you. Really, I mean, come on. But the reality is, this, as Sean said, this hits home because there are a number more people than would like to admit are drawn in by this stuff. And so, the fact that someone comes in and knows this, they think, what's up?
Tom, we should let folks know also that you can report it as a scam on this site, Bitcoin Who's Who.
Yep.
This one's been reported 60 times. It's apparently not stopping folks, but you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Somebody fell for it today. It says last transaction October 31st.
Yep. So as of today. DJ, any thoughts on this one?
No, I was just curious if your email contains the backtrack does your email headers contain the backtrack information? Because it's not hard to track these guys back.
Yeah, it's usually coming from a proxy Tor account usually. I forgot to look at it on this one. I did do it on a couple other ones, but yeah. So, Vince, thoughts on this one?
No, no thoughts. Stay away.
Stay away. All right. All right. I guess what we'll do then is we'll stop this one and jump on to another one here. Let's see. Let's look at this long one from you, Sean.
Okay.
So this one here it says, "Welcome, dear Dr. Sean O'Brien. My name is," says, "the Gabriel Black is only a direct translation of my Hungarian name." You can see this is long. Like, first, does anybody actually take the time to read all this?
So these are, and I wanted to make sure I forwarded you an example like this. I get these all the time, and so do colleagues at my university, Yale, and other universities as well. And I think the idea is they're trying to engage you in some scientific, nonsense or pseudoscientific nonsense, and then try to elicit a response out of you. So a lot of times they're about time travel or graphene or cold fusion or things of that nature. And I don't know if it's supposed to enrage people, but it is the correct community to be talking to, because there are a lot of folks who are going to read through that stuff and then reply. And in one case, I think one of the emails I forwarded, although it's pretty much the same as the one you're referencing, it looks like they hijacked the email address of a deceased professor, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know if they purposefully target .edu or what, but kind of seems like it. So
So, Sean, did that come through? Did that come through in your university email domain?
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, it didn't come from Yale.edu. No, but it did come to my mailbox, not being flagged as a spam message. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So they kind of know you're in a related field at least, and so if I were still a professor, I might have seen something like this, being as I was in a field related to physics. But yeah, so that's the first time I've seen something like this. But being out of that field for about 10 years, I'm not surprised. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and they often have, images embedded, right? So I think a good thing to mention is that we all, I don't know if we all do, I don't really, but a lot of folks like to have fancy emails and, nice formatting with HTML and photos and stuff. But when you load images in an email, especially if you're loading them by default, you're telling a web server somewhere that you've opened that email and that you're loading that image. And potentially, this is a way that and usually it's a way that folks know that you've actually engaged with it. So, yeah.
And that's why with a lot of email clients, they will allow you to turn off images downloading through spam filters.
Yeah, that's what Thunderbird is doing for me, of course. So yeah.
I have Gary and Apple Mail set up like that, so it doesn't load the images.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the right way to go, but you know what? I mean, we're using mail clients, right? And even that step for folks that I've installed, set up computers for, I think we at least have an entire generation of people who kind of only know the web or an app on their phone as their email interface.
Which is sad. Very sad.
Yeah, it's getting harder. So, for anybody listening who is in that realm, getting an email client and learning how to use one like a Thunderbird, dare I even say like an Outlook, it's better than, just taking the defaults from your mail provider many times.
Mm-hmm.
So.
My email server does have a web client, but I've only logged into it to access. I have I maybe have 5 email addresses on there for different things, and I have 2 of them. I think I just have my main email in the client, and then I log into the web client to access the other ones. But the web client also blocks images too.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. This other one Sean sent. So this is actually the first time I've seen this, and I actually found only one link referencing this. I searched for this email on a search engine. So this one here, hello, I am a fellow student of Yale University. My aunt is moving to the school area and needs someone who can pet sit her dogs 3 hours daily within 9 a.m. To 11 p.m. Pay is $350 weekly. Kindly email her more information. You are to email her with your personal email, not school email, so she can receive your email, because most times I email her with my school email. She hardly receives my email. This is her email. So my guess is, Sean, they're just trying to get your personal email. What else is going on here?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to start the conversation, right? Start engaging with you. I did find a reference to this. You're right. There is one reference, but there's like no documentation about it. If you go through Google and you actually Google this address. The other thing that I noticed was there was another domain that has it in a list that has Chinese characters. Okay. We have a very large Chinese student and scholar population, so this is the kind of thing as well that I think is kind of, I'm a new student from another country. I'm, in the U.S. for the first time. I'm looking for a little bit of extra money. So they might be able to goad you into even meeting up and having some sort of transaction. I'm not sure how that would work, but I'm not a grifter, so
yeah. So it makes me wonder: are they local to your area? Vince, what do you think?
Does anybody actually really engage with complete random total strangers via email if you receive anything like this?
I think so, unfortunately.
I mean.
Yeah, I know some folks who have, unfortunately. Yeah. We've had both students, again, especially folks who are new to the area or something. Usually it's not a scam like this. It's actually about housing. So it'll be, oh, well, we have this great, apartment for rent. Meet me at whatever. And folks actually do. They do meet up. And then they end up in some kind of, I don't want to call it a Ponzi scheme because it's not that long usually, but they end up in some kind of situation where they're wiring money somewhere. Yeah. And then, I don't want to call out members of my family, but, the elderly members of my family have had issues with stuff like this. Absolutely.
And also, if as soon as an email says my aunt or my brother or my sister this and this, my spidey senses start going.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Or my dog.
Well, it's so funny because once you're used to, just socialization through email, it's so transparent, that last line that's like, oh, make sure you email her personal address kind of thing, right? Yeah. But I don't know.
Scammer.com, how's that?
Yeah, right. But it happens.
So, Quint, do you know people in your age group that just randomly talk with strangers or interact with scammers?
Not really.
Okay.
At least none of my friends, at least. They don't do that, but yeah. I'm sure there are people at my school that probably have.
Yeah, that's kind of sad and scary, but oh well. All right.
I'm not certain, but I'm sure there are people who have.
Yeah. I seem to have neglected the comments. My apologies, guys. Let me just go ahead and scan through comments.
I'm honestly going to be curious what scams are going to be like for my generation. Like, it's going to be like mainly about social media. Like, I've hacked your TikTok account or something. Pay me this.
You do get a lot of those. At least I've gotten them on like Apple stuff, which is funny because I don't have an Apple account, at least not attached to that email. I think I had to create one for my podcasts, but that's about it. So William Armstrong, greetings. Just delete spam emails. That seems sketchy. Favorite button is delete in emails. Yeah. Sad thing about
there have been a lot of comments.
They will turn on you when people are forced to in a one world economy. Yeah, go ahead, you guys. Whoever gets in there first.
Yeah, can I say?
I was just saying that you guys go Queen.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me today that they had uploaded like their 1000th video to TikTok or something. They had like 1,000 videos.
What's he gonna do when the government bans TikTok? They're talking about it now. Go ahead, Vince.
I told them like the Chinese government is looking at all these, and they're just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say good luck, Tom, because there are a lot of comments.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. My apologies.
There's a lot.
I've been moving through stuff
Quint,
too
this
quickly.
friend, how old is this friend of yours, Quint? That's done the TikTok thing.
This was just somebody I was talking to. I don't know her super well. I think she was in 9th grade, so I think she was probably either 14 or 15. I'm in 10th grade, so she was younger than me.
Because isn't the issue with TikTok is that the age restriction is not strong enough? Is that? I don't know TikTok at all.
Well, so TikTok did get
um,
some controversy because they were collecting data on kids, and it seemed as knowingly. So they did get hit with a big fines across the EU and United States.
I mean,
it's a big Chinese social
kids,
media company.
Having kids myself, I find it really strange that a parent, if they would knowingly let a kid upload videos of themselves.
I honestly just don't think the parents know much about it. Is the problem?
Yeah, that can be the explanation.
And they should. The parents should know a little bit more about it. You know, Dan Keller, the kids won't stop coming.
Man, this is good engagement.
Yeah. Oh. I know.
This is wonderful. Let me see if I can.
Oh, we got 63 on right now. Greetings, guys. We got. So I have two of my favorite emails. Well, I have one of my favorite emails coming up, and then we'll hit Vince's last, just because I'm gonna have to change my input sources to do his. So, Vince, your emails will be last. Sorry, man.
That's okay.
What happens to all the candy that doesn't get handed out? I eat it. That's why when I buy Halloween candy to hand out, I buy stuff that I like, because I have enough discipline to not eat it all until the kids come. Just some of it, or half of it.
Look, it's a problem I've never really had to encounter or think about.
Yeah.
Like we actually have Easter chocolate from last year still that no one's eaten.
I was, but
That's
the wife
what
took
we
the
have
basket away.
too.
First world problems. Anna Rita had her candy taken away.
All right.
Another Microsoft refunded Indian scam. Yeah, I've not seen the Microsoft refund Indian scams. I don't know.
Oh, DJ dropped off.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know where it went.
The other thing I'll note too is that the databases that are available of taking a phone number and correlating it to an email are getting much better, or at least much larger. So I've seen situations where, if you engage with an email at all, even just an open, they'll try to look up a phone number and try to call you. So I've known folks who will get a scam email and then will get a phone call related to it from Microsoft support, right? And when that sort of thing happens, especially if you've been dealing with tech support your entire life on the phone, which of course a lot of the techies on the stream and in the chat, we haven't been doing that. But if you've been calling Microsoft, you might think Microsoft is actually trying to contact you.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Like, I mean, I had to call Google for a client yesterday, and and frankly, when you call Google, it's like, well, we need a reply to, a callback number in case our call gets disconnected. And, those guys are outsourced. I was talking to a guy in some other country. I don't know which one. But he, and in fact, he was they're very upfront with it too. He was like, oh, it's 1 a.m. where I am. And, the moon is shining nice through the air. It's like, it's nice. That's nice. But, it's like, where are you in the world? And why do you want my phone number? So it's one of those, Oh, it's snowing up where Dan is. No. Let's see. Mitchell, did you get scammed? Do we need to have you on here to tell your story, Mitchell?
I shouldn't laugh. I don't know what the situation is.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever actually successfully been scammed or not. There's sometimes that are a little seem a little close, but I don't recall a time specifically. Just because I probably give up too many legit options too. Like I actually have two. Like I get a ton since the first time I published a book, it was through one of these vanity presses, and of course they were outsourced to some outsourced company, that sold that information. So I get all sorts of things on this. But I've been getting some lately from other books who are published through my company that are like, okay, these guys are actually legitimately have my information. Actually searched for it and actually reached out to me on the ways that I would expect them to. And so I'm like, you know what? With that, some of those I'm looking into, and like this seems somewhat legit. So maybe I'll take a chance at them and see. But I don't know.
Another thing I can also say, Tom, is that I'm in a very interesting situation with my school, since I go to a private school that's K through 12, and so I get to see, like, I have an idea of what also the middle school posts on social media just from hearing them. And I carpool with middle schoolers too. And so I think they post, like, I know one of the kids who I carpool with posts, like, watches all sorts of Fortnite stuff on TikTok on the car ride the entire time.
It's like, kid, put
and
your phone
so
down.
I think it's probably a lot of different. It's a lot of I think people, middle school age kids, post more because they're newer to social media. And they're still just trying. They like love it. They're like, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post this. And they don't think about anything.
Yeah, and they don't recognize the danger in that. Vince, gun.
But I wasn't. I just got back.
Oh, okay. I saw it on mute. I thought you were going to say something. Rachel
No.
Bartlett is the Nigerian prince and would like nudes sent to Hillary Clinton. Just an FYI. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and jump over to another one. I am not completely caught up, but I am pretty close to caught up. So I will get back to another one. All right. So actually, let's do this one next because the other one's going to require me to jump to desktop and change some things around. So start recording. All right, this one's probably my favorite news scam email. This is actually a news scam that's been going around primarily to us people involved in the YouTube world. Hello, switched to Linux. We've received a complaint that your channel has a lot of spam videos, but you don't have to worry. Please check and edit the spam videos we have marked by clicking the link below. Otherwise, if you don't edit spam videos on your channel will close in 24 hours. Thank you for your patience in this process. So the sending email address is 3etusnorma@list.ru. Is that legit? Is that where YouTube's going to email me from? Of course, the link goes to. For you guys following along with your Tor browsers, we want to know where this link goes. So I'll put it in the comments, and I'll put it over here in Google for you guys here as well. So we get this link. I'm not sure where that one's going. Yeah. It's tiny.cc/074ADZ. And so here's what's funny about this email. Obviously, if you simply look at the from, they don't even mask the fact it's coming from YouTube. It's coming from this at list.ru. The from is listed as YT support. And this is coming from my email address that's on my YouTube account, which, by the way, for anyone trying to hack my YouTube account, is not the email address I use for YouTube. Yes, you can actually separate those addresses. So if you go onto the channel's About page and click in and say, get this email and verify you're not a robot, this means that somebody has manually had to get my address. But this is not the address that is used for my YouTube account. It's very important if you're on YouTube doing videos to use a different email address in that About link than the one you use to log into email. Because if somebody grabbed this information, they now think that this is the email address I used to log into YouTube. Now they can attempt to brute force into the account, which they're not going to be able to because good luck knowing what email address I'm logging into. That's why anytime I get something that's from YouTube, it actually comes to a completely different email address than this one. So this is why it's very clearly not YouTube, but it's quite hilarious. All right, what do we got? What do we got, Sean? Where's this going?
So it says mystery link.
Who's the mystery link?
It's got to just be dead, right? I don't know. Maybe this is actually tiny.cc. This actually looks like a legitimate website I'm reading through now.
Tiny.
So maybe it's dead now.
Is a URL shortener.
Yeah. Somebody probably reported it. They must have.
Yeah, so that came offline. That's a bummer. Be curious to know what that looked like. Probably was perfectly specced up looking YouTube login page or something. Of course, this actually has on the bottom of it, has like the 3 links, like the help and all these, and they're not active links, so it's kind of funny.
Well, let's see if we can find it in a search engine.
All right. This is fun.
No. Doesn't tell us, no.
Oh, that's a bummer, man.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's the end of it.
Sad. Oh, wait, is that it there? OpenCC, bit.ly, short?
Yeah, this may actually be it, right? PHP script that is actually redirecting to all these different link codes.
Okay, that's fun.
I don't know. There's probably farms of these things, right?
Yeah. Whoever wrote this page did not use Grammarly, I just gotta say.
Anyway.
So, yeah, anyone uses YouTube, just be aware this link is going around. Definitely, guys, go into your YouTube profile and put a separate email address on your About page to reach you that is not the same email address that you use to log into YouTube. Because that way, you can pretty much keep that login email address completely anonymous, which is very important to do. But again, if you just looked at who this was from, they didn't even attempt to mask the email address. They didn't even try and spoof a YouTube or Google email address. They just kept it at list.ru. And of course, just looking at the link, you can very well see, YouTube is not going to send you a tiny URL, the tiny.cc URL. If they're going to use a link shortener, they're going to use their own YouTube link shortener link, which is, what is it? You want yue.tv.
I just checked mine and
yep.
I just checked mine, and the email that's listed on my About page is different, so that's good.
Good. Yep. Make sure if you're using YouTube that you're
actually the way I set up my YouTube channel was through a Gmail account because I didn't want like subscription notifications.
Yep.
And so I have a different email that I actually check. Like I don't check that Gmail account that it's linked to.
Yeah. So let us know if you've seen that one. This is a very new scam. I've actually heard 1 or 2 people talk about this, but it's just, it's a scam that's out there. Any final thoughts on this one here? All right, let's check in on comments real quick. ISP asked if you wanted an email from them. I said no, because if I move to ISP, I'll have to tell everyone which one to move to. Yeah. Stranger danger. Don't respond to anyone that have not spoken to or met. There you go. Yep. Go ahead, Quint.
I didn't even realize ISP still offered emails. That's funny.
Yeah. I just talked to a bunch of strangers at the door, all looking for candy. We used to freak out the neighborhood kids. We'd have 3 balls of candy, and we'd say, "Oh, would you like poison, pins and needles, or razor blades?" We were not good children. Just made some of them cry. About 50K email validation and phone validations per month on the regular business. Databases are massive. Wow. All right. Oh, Vince, you're back. I just finally see that you left. That's how far behind the comments I am, right? Tell me, I got a call from someone who told me the computer had a virus. I said, really? I use Linux. Plus, how do you know you're spying on me with a telescope in a tree? And I hung up. Some attorneys and law enforcement officers who run side hustles of selling info from their databases. Yep, that's sad. What can we do about those ones? Anybody know?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to.
What can we do about the police selling information out of their databases?
Oh, God. Not much. If you look into email marketing and what's out there, or just marketing through sites like LinkedIn. There's a lot of stuff out there. So,
What is that with
my
chicken costume? It's not a chicken, it's a hot dog. Yeah, go ahead, Quinn.
I don't know about you guys, but where we are, if you've ever reported a crime or even rung the police hotline, they've got your details on a database already.
Very frightening. Very frightening. All right. Last one I have here, then we'll go over to Vince's because he sent me the images. Start recording. All right. So this last email here that I have, this came from DHL. Of course, DHL, big global shipping company. Hello, your shipment has arrived. Your shipment have arrived in our office. Please see the attachment of your shipping details. Thank you and best regards, DHS Delivery Service. Mrs. Valeria Long, General Manager. I wonder, is Valeria Long the actual General Manager at DHL? That'd be curious to know. And of course, all of the links go to dhl.com. I don't know if this is a legit telephone number for them or not. 214-997-9433. My guess is it actually is legit. So the fun part about this one is it's the attachment. So they give you an attachment. So let me switch over to my desktop view here, and I have the attachment right here. So PDF shipment details.zip. Let's open this guy up. Oh, look at this.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
It's a .exe file. See, guys, this is why you do not have a Linux distribution with wine installed on the default. So we have a .exe file. So, of course, someone's going to open this, and then we're like, oh, shipping details, .exe. Click it. There you go. What do you guys think of that one? All right. So any idea what might be in that exe there, Sean? Have you seen that one before?
did you drop the URL in here for me to copy?
I don't have a URL for it. It was an attachment in the email itself.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got a copy of that.
That's actually that's on my completely different computer, so I don't even have a way to get that to you, I don't think.
What's the name of the executable?
I could. Hold on. Let me boot up Evolution on this computer and see if this computer checks that email address. Name of the executable is pdf.shipmentdetails.exe. Looks like that's actually an abbreviated name, though. But I can't get it any bigger.
So there are a number of sites online where you can actually upload these executables, and it'll run a hash of the executable and then just compare it to the database. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of the most popular one right now. I can't think of it, unfortunately.
Let me do a search over here and see if I can find this. This is DHL.
But you can potentially just upload it to one of these sites, and then you'll know what the scam is. It can tell you if it's a popular one, and if it's not, then you're reporting the scam, which is good.
Okay, I can forward this one to you.
We should spin up a Windows VM and test it out.
Yeah, we could. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? I mean, I got a Windows VM, although I do use it for testing client stuff, so I don't really want to brick it or anything.
Let's just snapshot it.
I could do that.
I'm thinking of virustotal.com. That's the one.
So if I send this to your Yale address, is that going to be okay or not?
They'll probably just block it. So send it to... I'll give you a... can you use send.firefox.com?
Let me try that. Yeah, let me try that.
And then drop the link in, because, I don't know which mail servers are going to block it or not.
Probably anything that's decent.
Right. And virustotal.com, by the way, for the chat folks in the stream, I mean, you guys are really good in the stream also, but APKs, like Android APKs, I'll compare them on VirusTotal to make sure there's nothing malicious in them as well. Or even just to make sure that the release is the release I think I'm getting if I get a standalone Android installer. So,
very nice tip, thanks.
Thought I just put it over here. Where'd it go?
And then the other link I'm going to drop in. I don't know if anybody can see me in the chat this time around. I seem to have issues with that. But
yeah, and I couldn't even find your channel to whitelist you either.
Okay, so there's something going on there. But there's something called the Social Engineering Toolkit that Kali Linux has. Which, obviously the toolkit is to teach people, this is how, exploits are done. But if you look it up, you'll find it's very, very easy to set up phishing sites now. You just run a few commands in the command line, and you can have a fake Google login, fake Facebook login. I don't know if they do the shipping providers. I don't think so, but that would be a good idea to kind of bundle that as a toolkit. Now, I don't understand how the social engineering toolkit can ship this stuff with the trademark logos of all these companies, but they do. So they put it on Kali, and it's on there by default. Let me see here.
Shipment information and Firefox send PDF shipment information. Okay, upload. Okay. So if I'm gonna go ahead and send this to your email, because since this is on a different computer, that's gonna be the easiest way I can do it. Is that gonna be all right?
Sure. I can think of a couple other ways to do it, though. But yeah, that'll work. Sure.
Give me another fun way to do it.
So I'm gonna fire up an Onion Share site, which will take a few.
No, like I have the link for Firefox. I have the link for Firefox send.
Oh, you do? Well, that'll work.
Yeah. So
just
I can
drop that
I
in
can
the
just
chat.
email you. No, I can't because it's on a different computer. I got like 10 computers here.
Ah, okay. I'm foolish. I thought you meant the executable again. Yeah, email it, please. Thank you.
Okay, so I just sent you the Firefox send link on that.
Okay. And then we'll check it out.
Let's see.
Okay. Open this. So I'm going to extract this to my messy desktop. And I'm going to make sure I have the archive there too. And then I'm going to analyze them. Okay, so I'll do the screen sharing and actually show the virus total thing.
All right.
Move to new window. Let me go back. This will be... Okay, so, and this is only one of the sites, but this is one that I found is most complete. And actually, I had a hash table once of a bunch of files for... God, I've got all kinds of messy stuff on my desktop. Files for Android, like I said, and I actually was able to work backwards by just uploading them to the site or searching them on the site and then figuring out what the APK was. You can see it'll do the hash right away. Yep. Let me kill my conversations here. Trying to be private here, but I'm thinking like a hot dog today, apparently, Tom. It's not.
Yep.
I should, it's fun to drive, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, so this will do the analysis, right? And then I'm going to actually open up a new tab, and I'm going to also just drag in the executable, which I have on here somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
The zip. Yeah, we can hear you. So you're doing the zip and the executable?
Yeah, so the executable comes up very quickly. You see that because it's already been analyzed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Trojans, see?
All right. So it's like a giant Trojan kit.
Yeah.
Where was it from? I missed.
All right, so this was emailed to me as an attachment in an email for, here's your link, stuff like that, for your shipment invoice or whatever. So
my headphones, my Bluetooth headphones were disconnecting when it tried to switch to the mic built into these, and that doesn't work.
So
Yeah, so it actually so I guess what it does is it shows what this would show up as in the different virus engines, which is pretty cool.
okay.
And then it tells you where it would modify registry keys and files on your computer.
Yeah, nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
Mm.
So moral of the story
All
is
right.
don't click unknown things in your desktop, right?
Nobody can.
All right. Let's see, and we got Vince has sent me some images, so we're gonna go ahead and have a look at the desktop here. Oh, I had a light flicker. We should be good though. All right. So this one here, you said was a text message, right, Vince?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be
do you need me
delayed
to
20
screen-
seconds, unfortunately. So.
I know. What I'll do is I'll screen share as well, and I'll have a look here. Oops, that's
Okay.
not what I
And
want
I'll
to do.
just make sure that we're kind of synced. Let me
Share screen.
go to Vince there so I can monitor both sides.
Allow. Right.
All right.
Yeah. So can you see that?
Yeah, so this
Yeah,
is
so
your
this-
parcel. Go ahead.
Yeah. This was a text message I received just last night. And I very nearly fell for it, which is actually quite frightening, because I am actually expecting a parcel in the next day or two, and it's not uncommon for our postal provider, Australia Post, to send us a text message to confirm, if you're going to be home or not, to receive the package, or what else can they do. And I was really tired last night, and I almost fell for it. So, and this parcel was also supposed to be coming from China, I think, and it says that. Will not ship from the distribution center due to outstanding shipping costs. Now, the first thing I noticed that was a bit off is we don't spell center that way. We spell center C-E-N-T-R-E.
Okay.
Okay, that's the first thing. And I initially sent this to you as well, blocked with all the stuff blocked out, because I wasn't quite sure if it was a scam or not still. But then when I ended up clicking on the link, you show that the next picture should be the one with the link.
Okay, so
Now-
that's this one here, track your shipment. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Yep.
yeah. So that's the delivery has been picked up by us picture. That legit also looks like our Australia Post website with all the color schemes, the red and whatnot as well. And it says that you got to complete shipping payment now by paying $1. I've ended up opening up this where it's a scam as well. And I'll give you guys a link too.
So should I go to the next one here?
Oh no, it's still this one, because I want to show what this one is showing as well. Because with the website, what I realized was I initially had blacked out the number you can see because I thought it might actually identify something from me. But if you go to the search box in this website and type in any random number, if you guys can see what I'm doing, and go search.
Yeah, they can't. see
down
it.
here,
Let me move over here. You will be able to.
Right. The barcode number never changes, no matter what number you type in the search.
Huh,
So
okay.
that's a bit dodgy too. And usually, if there's some sort of number, there's usually some sort of identifying, alphanumeric code that's in the URL as well.
Yeah.
Not to
And
mention that
there's-
it's not secure HTTP too.
Correct.
But you can actually then go and I've actually then gone ahead and clicked the link, right, the complete shipping link.
Like the payment one for $1.
Yep. And this really started to ring alarm bells, because if you look at the URL, it's limitlesscheap.com.
Yeah. And then there's a tag after that, so that probably identifies who you are, right?
Yeah.
Vince,
Yep.
hey, could you go back? I didn't mean to interrupt, but could you go back to the other website? And I'm honestly curious what would happen if you removed the AUPST thing in the address bar and just went to the root domain.
Oh, let's have a look.
Call it
Nothing.
your Windows computer is now infected, right?
And furthermore, down on this enter your details screen, there's a little checkbox that has nothing attached to it. See that? That's just weird.
Yeah. That's nice.
And this is the legitimate website, and you can see how similar it looks with the tracking search box and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I very nearly fell for this because I was so tired last night. If I hadn't actually opened up my computer, I was looking at it just on my phone, it would have been much harder to tell.
Mm.
And so this made me think also just now, thinking about it, like, do they actually somehow know that I was expecting a package, or was it just some sort of random coincidence?
Yeah, that's a good question.
A complete fluke.
Yeah.
Well,
you could order a bunch more of these things scattered over and see if you get these correlating to times you get to.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I'm game.
Yeah, okay, all right. So then you sent some other stuff, so the singles 50.
Yeah, these last were just fun. I was then struggling to find other things. So I had to open my Gmail account, which I use for random logins. And apparently I'm a single, which is great that 50-year-old people are finding life partners.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, and also there's another one for fortune telling if you want to.
Yeah, there you go. Diana, the clairvoyant. See, she is a fortune teller because she knew exactly how to email you. She knew right where you were and what your email was.
Mm-hmm.
This one's legit. I'm going there. So yeah, those were Vince's contributions to the list. Any other ones here we want to mention?
I wish I had some more, but my spam filters are just so good.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about how good your spam filters are.
Like I've kept my email addresses pretty clean in terms of getting spam.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually was struggling to find stuff to send, and luckily I received this text message last night.
Yeah, that's good. So just kind of we'll go through our thoughts here, and then we'll do our final wrap up. I'll be, of course, streaming in about 45 minutes now on my other channel. So we're going to talk about the decline of Christian influence. So the link is there if you would like to jump onto that, 9 o'clock Eastern time in 45 minutes. What are your guys' final thoughts? Then we'll look at the comments and jump on off, because we're closing in on the time I got to go.
Sure. So I just want to quickly say I often get my email on domains that have a non-typical TLD, right? Blacklisted these days, even though I'm not sending spam, and often I'm the only user on the domain, so the only mailbox. So I know there isn't anything compromised, and often also there's no web server or anything associated with the domain. So I do think we have a challenge going on where enterprise, especially, big organizations, have really, really severe spam filters and blacklisting. And there's probably a lot of traffic that's legitimate that's getting dumped. So it kind of sucks because, of course, they're going to have the reaction, especially with all the ransomware out there, to try to stop phishing emails at all costs, right? But it is changing the way that communication is happening through email, through the email chain. And especially if you don't set up DKIM or DMARC or SPF records and those kinds of things, you may be, sort of persona non grata on the internet. So I've got mixed feelings about it. So I know that's a little off topic, but, I don't know where this is necessarily going, unfortunately, but email's a heck of a battleground, and it looks like it's going to continue to be that way. So
yeah, absolutely. And for Rong Singh's daughter, yes, he is dressed as a hot dog.
Sean, is your YouTube account privacy safe? Is that you?
Yeah, it's privacy safe _ AI, I believe, or maybe just privacy safe AI, space AI. Yeah, that's us. And privacysafe.ai, give us feedback. We've got a new initiative to get enterprise to give us information so that we can better tailor our products for them. So check it out, and please, if you have the time, fill out our survey. That'd be great.
Yeah, I was able to find you this time by actually searching for it. I don't know if I can add you to my safe lists or not, but I will give it my best.
Cool. We'll figure it out. And if I have to just create an account for myself, I will. I just loathe having a personal YouTube account. If I don't have to
I'm with you. We'll try and figure this out.
Cool.
Let's see.
Thank you all.
Yeah, Quint, final thoughts?
If you get these emails, they're typically scams. You should just ignore them, and you want to make sure you have good spam filtering if you have your own email server. Like I use I know you guys use different. I don't know what you guys use. I know Tom, you use the cPanel one, but I use one called MailCow, which has a bunch of different stuff in it. There's it comes with a program called RSpamD that basically filters out a lot of spam, and so I don't think that's why I get any spam. Oh, no, hard wax.
Okay. Let's see.
So just ignore those emails. They're always scams.
Yeah, pretty much. Vince, final thoughts?
So most of us who are here and in chat would be pretty okay with picking up scam emails. But can we come up with maybe a couple of really easy ways for someone who's non-techie to as a fail-safe to pick it up for them? Like if we tell them this, and this, that they should pick up most of the scam emails as well. Maybe we could summarize the stream with that.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I just found privacysafe.ai on the comment thread, so I made you a mod, so you should show up. I'm sorry, Vince. Go ahead and repeat that for me because I was shocked that I just found that. I'm sorry.
Pay attention, Tom.
I'm telling ya, I need beat.
No, okay, so I'll say that most of us here would know how to pick up a scam email most of the time, except in our weakest moments. But can we summarize maybe in a couple of points how we could tell our relatives and friends a really easy way to catch some of these without too much failure?
I would say number one, most important stuff is not going to come to you via email. Like IRS is never calling you via email. The FBI is never going to send you an email before they pick you up for some alleged crime. And anything asking for more information, it's probably not official. Anything official is still going to come via certified mail. However, we're starting to see a shift in that with this current world. Next, I would tell people always inspect a URL that is inside of any email. If something comes from your Apple account or your Spotify account or your YouTube account or your Google account or your Microsoft account or your Facebook account that says your account was flagged, click here to reactivate your account, you don't go there. You go right to the website, you log right into the website, and you see if there's a notification directly on the website. So those are, I think, some of the important things. I think those are the best. Sean, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd also say, obviously if you can check the URL by mousing over it and looking in your mail client and seeing what the URL is, but in a lot of cases, the way the web's set up or the way an app's set up on your phone, you can't do that, right? So using a mail client is a really good first step. That gives you a lot more control over your mail account in general. So that's huge. And then you can also run spam filters, obviously locally, as the folks have been saying. But the other things I would just say, if you get that level of control, and especially if you're an organization and you have control over the computers that you're setting up for your staff, you can turn off HTML in emails. You can turn off images by default in emails. It'll help a lot. I guess training, right? It's over 90% of exploits that they see in enterprise are actually coming through email still. And as the world, and I think you're hinting at this, Tom, a lot of marketing and a lot of business is turning back to email channels and away from social channels or channels that are controlled directly by the company. Forums and login panels and stuff like that. And as that happens more, there is going to be legitimate email that's coming through, right? Yeah. That has a big reset password button. One of the ways I teach people is to set up two-factor authentication. Ideally with an authenticator app on their phone and not using text messages. That way if you get a reset password thing and it's not asking you for a code or sending you a code, then you know it's fake pretty quickly. So
Very good. Keith Richardson does remind us it is health insurance Medicare enrollment time, and that means we're going to see an uptick of spam in that, just like right around tax time we see an uptick of the IRS scamming stuff. So be careful if you are on any of those social platforms that would be using that. So be extra careful on those. Any final thoughts before we wrap this one up? I don't think so. All right.
I don't think so.
All right. Yep, we will go ahead and wrap this one up, and see you guys. Our next stream should be tomorrow night. The news, 9 o'clock, and we got some doozies this week, I gotta say. And I've been getting a lot of emails. You can email stuff to me if there's something you want me to include. I usually see it before I get it in my email, but there's some cases where I do get stuff there. So definitely look at those, and I'll consider adding those to my list. Privacy Safe just dropped a link in there as well for privacysafe.ai/enterprise. Go ahead and check that out, and particularly you guys in the tech industry field, check that out as well. He's got some great offerings there. That's one of the projects Sean is working on. And I will be on my other stream in about half hour, so I'll see you over there if you want to jump in over there. So we will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, now I got to wait a few seconds after my thing went. All right, we'll stop it there. We'll cut myself.